Alrighty, okay, so here we go. So I've taken some black, some white, a bit of grey, and I put a touch of blue in there. Okay, got to figure out where my light source is coming in from. Let's say it's coming in from the left-hand side here. So this would be my lightest version of my building far off in the distance. Okay, and then I'm going to take a darker version of this, it's ever so slightly darker version, and going in there. Because it's so far off in the distance, it's going to get lighter. In fact, I'm going to take that gable, this is called a gable end. Just going to make the gable end all the same color. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the white version here. And I just paint the roof white, well, a lighter version. So this is still monochromatic because there is blue in this, in these values. And that's my far off there. Now I'm hoping that's still wet because I'm going to go in there with some white that's on my brush. Just make that a little bit lighter because there's no contrast between that and the gable end. Okay, so that's off in the distance there. So then now when I come into this one, I've got to consider about getting a little bit darker. I'll put a little bit blue in there just to make it back into some color. Okay, so this is my shadows side. This is not the ideal brush for this because it's so big an area. I'm gonna hit that with a brush. It's too dark on the, too light on the side there. Okay, and then since the light's coming in there, this is going to be a lighter version. I'm not going straight in there, I'm coming off to the side here. Get both sides of my brush so it's loaded that color. And then that's going to come down here like this. That will go off to there. We can paint windows and stuff in there later. And then since this is a gable end, we'll just use that same color too. Okay. And then put a little bit more blue in there. And paint that as a slightly different value here. Of course, you may want to wait for that to dry, but because this is on the dark side of the roof, we wouldn't have this much light on there. Okay. So I can see now, make an adjustment here, just a touch of black in there, a little bit more blue, way too much. I'm going to make an adjustment to that back side here, it needs to be darker. So you're constantly making decisions and adjustments. Oh, let's pull that colour. Being impatient, I should let it dry. Okay, so you got one color, second color, third color. I'll do the same here. This will be my lightest, will be my medium, this will be my darkest side because it's on this side. Okay, so now each building is going to get slightly darker each time it's coming forward. So put a little bit of white into here, then on bottom here. Notice I'm not going back in there because I'm going to use gallons of white to do that. I'm just making a lighter version. So just going back up to the vanishing point. If it's getting real close, we'd start putting detail into it. So we'll start putting later on shadows onto the wood and stuff like that. And then take some of this here. It's my lightest value right here. When it's getting this close, we might end up putting some texture into this. Oh, messed that up. Oops, messed that up big time. Take that as a ridge there. Let's pull the darker color out of there. Didn't want to do that. That'll work. And then this side is going to be the darkest. Still working in blue. Make sure you have enough paint to paint it. I don't have enough paint there. Yeah, that's not good. I have to make some more. It's going to look different. Make sure you have enough paint to paint it. Which obviously I don't. Obviously I didn't have enough paint. That's why it's looking different values, but it's okay. Just get you the concept across. Okay. Questions? Light, medium, dark.